what we're back to the 32 Ford 5-window highboy, and we are still continuing to go through trial fits. We have sourced our parts from Magnum Suspension. They're a major purveyor of components for solid axle type front ends, which we have here with a split wishbone. We're mocking this up to get that final established point of our ride height relative to the oil pan to the ground and our scrub line, so that if we have a flat, we don't end up landing on all the suspension components. What we've done is we put the split wishbone in temporarily with a spring perch. We put the kingpin in with a axle and spindle, front spindle, and we have our control arms for our steering. We already know by a preliminary pre-fit that we're going to have to raise the steering arm because it's too low to the ground. So anyway, we pre-assembled these pieces, and for starters, again, supplied by Magnum, which is a very nice piece, is this aluminum fin backing plate. They come polished, not polished. We've got this semi-polished. All we did was have them polish the top ribs. This piece goes on with the opening for the air to come into the disc brake through that cavity right there. And of course, they've been around for a long time and everything fits really good, so we don't end up having an issue. These bolts are tapered. They're Allen wrench driven, and we slide that piece in. We bring our steering arm up, which we know we're going to have to change. Our steering arm has what's called a drop. Let me get this out here. It has a drop in it. I'm stuck. I can't show it exactly, but anyhow, it has this drop, and it's too much of a drop. We're going to actually raise that an inch, and that'll put us in good proximity of where we have to be from a safety point of view. This gives you a little bit better close-up view of what we're doing. Again, we're trial fitting the backing plate, the steering arm, and being sure that we have all the motion clearance that's required when you're putting one of these together. The worst thing in the world to do is to try to put it together and find out something binds up. You don't get full motion on your steering, and all those components need to work freely and not have any interference whatsoever. And what we're doing here is putting this, supplied by Magnum, a backing plate that's going to secure the steering arm, and also the backing plate incorporates the caliper for the disc brake. We're going to take and put our inner bearing on. No seal yet, because we're just doing all this as a cold pre-fit. This is our hub that has our disc brake, and has the bearing retainers. We take our bearing retainer nut, spindle nut as it's called sometimes. We assemble that, and then the cross link for the steering, which we know is going to have to be raised 1 inch for a safety point of view. We're going to put that on here. All right. Now, we want to snug that up, not super tight. Then that allows us to take our caliper and fit it into the back side to be sure we have clearance. Everything has to be free and smooth. So that still is free. I'm not going to take this all the way down because it all has to come back apart. And that's all free, smooth. This is the backing plate that goes between the spindle and the rotor. Allows air to come in to feed the rotor when it's being used and gets hot. The caliper is on freely. The bearing in the hub itself is on freely. And that's pretty much how in the trial fit. And we'll do this another couple of times just to make sure as the suspension moves up and down or the car squats that it doesn't bind up and we don't end up with a interference fit, which can definitely cause an accident.